Well, hello YouTube types. My name's Timmy. Welcome to my very low rent, incredibly obscure, low subscribers channel. Nikon D4. I've wanted to give one of these a go for a long time. I hope you can see I'm holding up here. But they have been very expensive for a very long time. When I got my Nikon D3X in 2019 January, I think I paid about $650 for that, which I thought was a little bit lower than usual, but pretty good, a pretty good deal, but $650. So at that time, getting a decent D4 with, you know, similar reasonably nice cosmetic condition and with 150K actuations on the shutter like the D3X, that would have probably been more like 1400, maybe 1300. And I thought, oh, the prices of these would drop quite fast as the mirrorless madness takes off. But that's not been the case. It's taken a long time, but I always told myself when the D4 hit about 800 used, I would get one and give it a go. And I'm very glad I have, because it really is like a D3, D3S, but just a little bit better. Its focus really grabs on fast. I did a photo shoot last week, a group shoot in a studio, with a very nice looking model. This is on my purple port, by the way. You could look up Timmy, T-I-M-M-E, and my Instagram is Timmy, as I've just spelt it, with an underscore and a mister after it. And I've got some photos there, but I've photographed this Alice, and I was very pleased. I took home about 250 images from the evening, and you know, there wasn't much there at all, hardly any shots that weren't sharp in the eye, and that's always great news. Exposure was pretty good. Wasn't that impressed with the lighting setup there, but we'll keep quiet about that, shall we? But on the whole, pretty nice, pretty pleased with the camera, and actually pretty pleased with the results from the shoot, because with a bit of photoshopping you can always get a bit of overexposure to disappear, but the overexposure is from the high contrast lighting rather than from the camera. The camera handles it very well, so I'm impressed. Yeah, so that's a good aspect. So general philosophy about these things. Well, think of these lovely new cameras, the Z6, which to be fair is now a reasonable price used, but you know, these R5s and the new Z9 and the new Sonys and everything, they are big bucks, aren't they? Now these cameras, they are super solid. They've had a good time to establish that they were well made and everything. So the new stuff, well, it's kind of proof the pudding is in the eating, isn't it? These things haven't been around very long. They cost an enormous amount of money, and if you are a cheapskate, poor guy living in a cardboard box like me, you may not want to pay thousands of pounds for a new camera and change your lens system. And if you feel like that, well, I don't blame you, because I feel like that too. So that's good. So you can use this in a photo shoot. You can do it Daniel Norton style. Shall we say a word about Daniel Norton? Yes, we shall. Now, we like Daniel Norton and his favourite model Marissa, and Cadence, and what's she name? Thingy Lynn. Can't think of her name, but she's rather gorgeous too, isn't she? Anyway, Daniel Norton badge, Daniel Norton sticker and on-set sticker. A friend of mine went to New York and went to one of his sort of Thursday do's just before the pandemic struck. So good stuff there. Anyway, that's the Daniel Norton plug done. Let's see. So what have we got now? We've got this D3X here, which is the actually, I'll tell a lie, this is the D3. They all look so similar, don't they? We will not make any inappropriate jokes here. Now, because the worksters are watching us these days, D3, that is super good. This one was 350 quid, and what a fucking bargain. That's just amazing. 80,000 on the clock, really nice. You've seen this in my other videos, but I'm just sort of riffing here. So what else have we got? There's the D4. We'll put that to one side a second. Ooh, I'm still here, by the way. And then we also have the D3X here. Nice 24 megapixel, great studio camera. Hasn't quite got the sort of highlights preserving flexibility of the D4, but if you treat it like the D7100 compared with the D7200 and just accept that you need to shoot it at good exposure and lowish ISO, then a lovely piece of kit. And the D3S, like a D3, newer sensor, one extra stop of exposure and of high ISO exposure, I should say, and a little bit faster focusing maybe. It's just a nice bit of kit. You'll pay a couple hundred quid more for one of these than for a plain D3. I think this one was just under the 500 quid mark, and the D3, as I say, was 350. And then let's go back and have a little more cradling of the D4. Yes, this, I would say this is a keeper. I'd say now the prices are coming down, this is a pretty nice camera to have because you up the resolution just a little bit from the D3s and D3S. It doesn't go up to the 24 of the D3X or the Z6, but it does produce a nice looking image, and you know, if you can go into, I use Nikon Studio NX and the previous version for converting my Nikon RAW files, and which one is it? Not NX, the Studio Capture NX, I think it is. On there, you can actually zoom up the your pixel peep into 600 or 1,000 times. I think the Studio NX stops at 400, 400%. And there, these things aren't terribly worse in terms of resolution and picture rendering ability than the D3X. So I think this is going to be a keeper. So this is, this was now actually cheaper than a used Z6, and Z6 is super nice. You've got the newer technology in things, and I'm not anti them, but I do like these kind of big monster older cameras that are absolutely built with no cost control, built to be the flagship model. So the current Z version of that is the Z9, and you're talking $5,500 there. It's super nice, but yeah, certainly I won't be buying one for a very long time. What else? A Z7, I haven't looked at the used prices of those, but I imagine they're probably 500 quid up on the Z6, and you know, quite nice thing to try at some time, but I'm looking for kind of lower cost, really good cameras that are just nice to own, and the D4 is certainly one of those. Now what especially do I like about it? These two joysticks on the back here, you've got a little one up here, and you've got your kind of AF on button. I'm probably holding these out of the camera. That is very nice for moving your focus point around in vertical format, or you know, shooting, and so that's a really nice aspect of the camera. Not too much fun having different card slots. I've still got a 32 meg CF in there, which works fine, and I will probably get an XQD card, but I don't really need that, because I am probably not going to put this in the high-speed shooting mode and you know, do all this 9 frames a second stuff. I tend to have this permanently set on S for a single shot, and then I have continual focusing on with back button, and I just put my focus point on the eye, and this camera will do that in a truly excellent fashion. So there we go. I'm sort of in the waffling mode now, aren't I? So end of. Cheerio.